Hafada everyone, $2.20 here, and welcome to episode 8 of Osahra. Oh, it feels like only yesterday I was making a teaser for this series, and we are already flying through and in episode 8. And somebody who can definitely vouch for that is my fellow collaborator, Skibbeth. Skibbeth, how are you today?
Hafara, $2 and everyone, doing very well, and indeed, as you said, time passes so fast, and like in 2 days we are about to see episode number 20 or something, and it's crazy. And yeah, it's been quite a long time since you made a teaser, but it felt like it was a few days ago. But time passes fast, and it passes in a beautiful way, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, look, before we get into what I'm building in this episode, I will just point out the fact that I am now saying Hafada and you are now saying Osahra or something like that, which is what I was saying. Oh man, we just keep on switching our accents, so I'm not really sure what to say about that.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is. Hey guys, well look, in the previous episode on my channel, I started work on this little village on the outskirts of Osahra, and I'm actually now basically just detailing this area. I really wanted to, get into detail and work on this area and really start moving in some people. I expand on this little area way more and put in some more like high-rise buildings. And they're actually just vanilla buildings, but they fit in really, really well. If you're looking at the buildings that I'm plopping down, they're actually like 90% built by people, especially for this series. That person in particular who's actually Bearded Monkeys, he's built pretty much all these buildings you're seeing right now. And he's basically a fellow collaborator, as well as a whole bunch of other asset creators, Lost Gecko and Mesto, all doing their job to help us out with a pretty unique build. This particular region that I'm building right now is actually located on the outskirts of our city. So we're not really starting the heart of the city, we're kind of starting on the outskirts. And we're very close to me, just here we are right now. This is actually a place that I'm pulling a lot of inspiration from, based in Egypt. And it's on this river, on this man-made river that I find really interesting. And if you look at this part of Egypt, it's like I'm following it pretty closely. I mean, particularly that dock that's up in the top part of the map, and just the road network is like generally what I'm kind of going for. I'm not really sure what this town is actually called. This is a town on the outskirts of this bigger city that I also don't know the name of. But what I find pretty interesting about that area is that there's actually a lot of greenery that I will start putting into Osahra at something that, I don't know, it's not really the first thing I think of when I think of like a desert, a Middle Eastern kind of area. I wouldn't have really expected there to be much greenery, but I mean, I don't know, countries always surprise me with what they've got. So I think we're going to put in a bit of foresty areas, and that'll be somewhere towards the end of the episodes. And a couple of other buildings that I've plopped down is Ronix has just released these Japanese buildings. You saw me place down a couple of minutes ago, and man, they're super pretty in a non-pretty way, I think. And yeah, I mean, they fit in perfectly with this area, so definitely drop them down here. And Skip, this building, I mean, how nice is that little hospital I've just placed down there?
Yeah, it is, and I was watching what you are doing, and all these buildings indeed I can say they fit perfectly to our theme. And while you're doing this, I was really thinking that even some of the Soviet or Russian buildings might fit quite good. Some tenements and apartment buildings, some of them really are in the same way. Beer Monkey sent us some links on our little place where we discuss, and it was a flyover Egypt or something, and I've seen some buildings, and some of them really do look like in this style, and also on the Soviet style. I mean, don't take it, even though Osahra, it is like maybe it's ruled by dictators. No, not maybe. It is ruled by dictators. Me and you. Even though there is no country being ruled by two dictators. Well,
I don't think they're really good at sharing dictators.
Yeah, well, it's a game. It's fictional and it's a game. We are just trying to make it like a nice story. And plus, as you saw already, many people sharing their stories with us and their way of seeing Osahra, which is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I've read some cool stories about how Osahra starting, let's say, no, how Osahra became like it is after a war or after some wars with different countries and so on. They're beautiful stories, and everyone, it's very nice and understands that this is fiction. It's a game, and we just have to go along with it. I mean, it's nothing related to reality, and we are not like encouraging or not dictatorship or something. No, it's again.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a part of our history, entire humanity history. So human history. So why not just invent or tell a story about it?
I find it super interesting as well. I mean, and especially the stories that people build for this country. It's just, I don't know, like we started off, and I think in the first episode, I mean, you mentioned Osahra being a country, and I was like, whoa, man, like, of course, it is a country. And then, you know, people talked about us being dictators in another episode, and I think we were both like, oh, yeah, okay, let's both be dictators. Let's do that.
Yeah.
You know, like, the comments are just something that, you know, really excite both of us. And, you know, we please encourage people to keep them coming, make them as long as possible. And, I mean, share the videos and really get involved. I mean, it's really fun having people contribute so much to the story of Osahra and, you know, make it into more than just a game. I mean, this game has really been pushed by everyone in terms of, you know, what it was actually kind of built for.
Exactly.
I don't know, like, Colossal Order must be just, I don't know, must be really surprised of what people are doing with this game, because, I mean, I don't know if you ever watch them do any live streams, Skib, and you just, they're building such awful cities, and you're going like, don't you guys play this game? Like, why does your city look like that?
Yeah, I know what you mean. And yes, they don't have many cool mods because they don't use mods. And even though I played vanilla as well, and I never did those kind of ugly cities. I mean, even some roads are absolutely impossible. Not about real life. It's impossible to look at them. I mean, it's like what is that? It's the ugliest weenie, you know.
Yeah,
and well, maybe, you know what? Maybe in the future they will do really release a DLC based on a desert area or Middle East theme. God knows. Maybe they will. After, of course, we did it first. We released this first.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, if anyone's wondering what we're talking about, it's like because we've got so many different asset creators helping us build Osahra and its unique in its whole uniqueness. Yeah, man, we pretty much joked about it being an actual DLC that we're releasing, because it really feels like it. There's so many assets that have been created for this series, and oh man, I mean, we can't say what's coming next, but just be excited for what's coming next. It's just we got so much in store for this series, and when I say we, I mean Lost Gecko and Bearded Monk and Armesto all putting in their hard work into this series. So I mean, keep the comments coming, the suggestions coming, and who knows, something you suggest will probably pop up in an episode not too far away. Skip, I'm putting so much greenery around here. It kind of feels a bit taboo, but looking at the Google Maps of this area in Egypt, it's it's actually pretty green. It's a pretty green area, and these kind of areas have kind of got a lot of wild grass kind of sticking up, and it's very broken. I kind of feel like this area was once maybe designed for probably more modern style buildings, but then, you know, the road network was placed down, and then instead of some really nice buildings being plopped down, maybe just some more like of these sort of buildings got, you know, placed down instead, and I don't know, it's kind of like lost its sparkle somewhere in the process of being developed. So I mean, that's what I was kind of going for. These dirt roads are kind of like, I don't know, they're kind of like planned to be paved at one stage, but they just didn't happen, and like that was my general idea of this kind of area. And yeah, I mean, I had so much fun building this area. I tried to put a couple of little farm areas around, kind of just more like, you know, little blocks of land that people are probably just farming near their houses, and maybe shared communities. I also eventually put in a bit of industrial areas, and I don't know, it feels really good actually plopping down a bit of detail into what it will be eventually, a pretty bustling city that, I don't know, we haven't really started yet, have we? I mean, we've done a lot of the other areas, but we haven't really started too much of the city.
Exactly. I think it's we just plopped the first bricks, let's say, of our future city, which, by the way, if you agree, I think not people can help us deciding the name of our main city, which will be the capital of Osahra as well. So that will be cool to see some names from you guys, and then after you come up with the names, we can choose the first 5 and ask you to vote in the next episode, as we did with Hafara. That would be very, very nice to have a cool name for our capital city.
Yeah, I mean, going a bit on that, if and there's links in the description below, but a lot of the, you know, if you're kind of in between episodes and you're just on YouTube, highly suggest you following us on Twitter. We're both on there and very active, and very frequently posting teasers of what's coming next, and even teasers on other projects that we're working on, because Osahra is definitely not our only project. So definitely follow us on our social media sites, Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter as well. We're very active on there, and quite often on Twitter we are posting some polls and questions to people, and it's generally the best place to contact us. But I mean, definitely comments are very well appreciated too. Just placing down this bit of dead land here, and yeah, I mean, I always struggle. I think out of everything that I build, I always struggle with a bit of dead land, because I don't know, when you have such a big plop of land, I just feel like I want to just put heaps of stuff down there. I don't know if you feel it. Do you feel the same way? Like
I know. I hate seeing empty places as well, and I feel like I have to add something, even a rock or something. I have to add it there. So it's the same thing. And it was a funny moment when you said about we are putting or starting polls on Twitter and so on, and right at the same time you are adding the electrical poles in the game, and I was like, oh, cool moment. So yeah, it is like that, and again, come up with ideas, guys, names for our capital. That would be awesome.
That'd be so awesome. I didn't even think about naming the capital. I just thought it would be called. Yeah, I mean, geez, of course, we're gonna name the capital. Of course.
Yes, we have to, because everyone also wants to see the dictator's palace and any other cool stuff, which usually can be found in a capital city. And this must be, and it will be, the capital, because we can't build too many cities on the map. Not because we don't want, but because the FPS at a point will say, skip $2. Sorry, but it's time for me to put my foot here, and boom, no FPS. I mean, for the moment we can still be happy with it. I mean, I have a weaker computer, but and I haven't done the upgrade, as I said last week. I haven't done the upgrade. I wanted to try something else and still thinking about it, but I will definitely have it in a while, not too far from now, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks. I really don't want to just throw money. I just want to think about it. But
I'm so excited for you.
Well, I'm more than excited. I'm happy to do so. I tried a little trick with some more with 60 more gigabytes, and the game was really moving so fast, and also loading the game very fast. Everything was perfect, even though when I checked the FPS, it was the same one. I mean, no change in the FPS, but when I was moving, I could have definitely feel it. I don't know what's about. I mean, I don't know. I'm not good at these kind of things. I mean, it's not my domain or something, but that was fine. Who cares? The game was moving pretty fast, but that was just 60 more gigabytes, not a new CPU and stuff. Anyways,
I really I throttle my computer with this game. Like when I'm recording cinematics and I've got the max settings and it's just, you know, just churning through some hardcore cinematics of the city, my computer is just on fire. I want to like leave the room just in case it explodes. One of these days it will.
Man, don't tell me. Yeah, don't tell me. My fan is also crazy. But I just saw you popped in a cool building. What's that building?
Oh, this one here, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
Hey, I've got no idea who made it. I can't give them any credit at the moment, but it's just yeah, it's great. It's even got a little indent where a bit of work is. Yeah, it must be like I don't know, maybe a concrete factory. I really have no idea. But
I think I have it. In my abandoned collection. Well, I have a collection named Abandoned Buildings and so on, and I think I saw it there. It might be also geometry or something. Not sure, but it looks pretty awesome. Never seen it in the game.
That's great. It's such a good asset there. Yeah, there's a whole bunch that really fit in well. I think, like in terms of the city and what we have, you know, we've got now like quite a lot of residents that are moving in. We have a lot of industrial. What we're going to need eventually, well actually we need right now, are some services. And that's what I plopped down a hospital that's servicing that little area there. And, you know, we don't really have any schools, or we don't have any other sort of facilities like water facilities. And we've got a garbage dump that you made in the last episode that just looks beautiful. You know, if I could ever say that about a garbage dump. And I'm kind of making another one right now, but this is definitely not an official garbage dump. This is just an Osahrian garbage dump where people just throw things in the middle of an open field.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to put some more services in and, you know, kind of get the city rolling without any sort of assistance outside. So I mean, if people are wondering, I in the previous episode of my channel, I plopped down a couple of services around this area, some wind farms and, you know, just a couple of things to help the city grow. I ended up moving them quite far out of the city just so that we don't have to look at them. It's another neighborhood that has basically all the things that a city needs to survive, you know, fire trucks and police and all that sort of jazz. And they're kind of just sitting on their outskirts and servicing this town as we're slowly building it. But I don't know about you, Skip, but I would really love to see Osahra surviving on its own and not really having too much complaint. Like, I definitely would like Osahra to have a much higher crime rate than is probably needed in a town like this. But yeah, well, definitely.
It was funny when you plot those first buildings, and before people moving in, some burglars moved in first and to check if everything is fine.
This is great, isn't it? Yeah, good on them.
Yeah, man. They were. Well, it was Beer Monkey's buildings, and who knows? Maybe when he set them up in the editor mode and so on, maybe he said, "Okay, crime rate up." Because it's Osahra style. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, we need some services also for Osahra. I mean, it's not like here everyone does exactly what they want. Plus, it's a dictatorship situation, and usually this never happens. But I love what you're doing, man. I really love what you're doing. I love all kind of buildings, all kind of style buildings, green stuff, bushes, garbage, abandoned cars, and many stuff like this. And I see now at you. You can see you plop trees, but the move it mode is like it is open if it's not open, but it looks like it is open because you can see the grids near the roads.
Oh, man, I do this every time.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I record the cinematics with this, and after I record them and I'm trying to edit the video, I see the grids and I said, no way, I have to go back and re-record them. Crap, and it's annoying. I don't know why it's with that bug. It's a bug.
Oh man, like the other day, I mean, off topic, but like the other day I was recording some cinematics, and I, every time I record a cinematic, I, press R, recording cinematic. Did all the cinematics, spent an hour on them, and then I went to find them, and turned out I was just recording in between the cinematics. So I was actually just recording the part that I wasn't meant to be recording. I was just, like how, just terrible.
Yes, I know.
But look, back onto the topic, because we are actually getting pretty close to the end of the episode already. And already. What I'm doing right now is I'm actually just kind of mapping out a bit of a foresty area that I wanted to stick down. I mean, I kind of referenced it in the Google image, the Google Maps before, and I kind of wanted to have a bit of a space that was covered by a bit of greenery. It's definitely not detailed, it's kind of just placed down and just waiting for me to put a bit of detail into it. But it makes it look great for the cinematics, I think so. And tell me what you think. I mean, tell me whether we should be sticking down some more greenery in Osahra. If you think that, nah, just maybe a little bit less, then yeah, also let me know. But I think this area would be really cool to stick down some farmlands and pockets of little villages and shacks, and maybe just like a couple of just dirt tracks that just fade off into the distance. I mean, this is a map that we're pretty keen to work on for ages and ages and ages, and oh man, I'm looking forward to the times where we just work on the outskirts and the finer details of the inner city parts. It's I'm pretty excited for the rest of it. But yeah, sorry man.
So I was going to answer to what you're saying. I think we really do need green stuff. It is something in real life as well, and it looks good. And we really do need some green spots and little forests and maybe some farm fields and so on. We will have that more.
Yeah, man, absolutely. But guys, that is pretty much it for the episode. Like always, thank you so much for tuning in and all the comments and all the support and everything that goes with it. You guys have been really fantastic, and we love making these episodes. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe to our channels, both mine and Skib's. The next episode will be up on his channel next Wednesday, and the Wednesday after will be up on my channel. Remember to hit the bell icon as well so that you do get notifications if you so want to. And a thumbs up is always very much appreciated. But that's pretty much it from my end. Skib, do you have anything else to say before we get into some cinematics?
No. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for watching and being great with us. And as $2 said, see you next time on my channel.
Yeah. See you guys.